Alright, so Genti's been giving me problems, but don't have the wherewithal right now to resolve them. So I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. I'm still on CachyOS because I put Gentoo on another drive. But Firefox, and I'm kind of late talking about this because there wasn't really a reason to talk about this before, but now there is, now that people are starting to wake up to the horror that is Mozilla. And what's happened is there's two main competing browsers that aren't just on Apple devices, right? There's Chromium and there's what engine do they use now? It's not Gecko, it's like Unity or something. Anyways, whatever the Mozilla engine is. And Mozilla, in the same way Google has kind of a monopoly over their Chromium code. You're not really, if you're not in the project, you don't work for Google, you're probably not contributing to Chromium. Firefox has the same problem. If you're not in Mozilla, you're probably not contributing to Firefox. And as with Chromium, Firefox is also a very messy code base. So people will say, "Oh, well, you can just fork it." Yeah, but you would need to like own, you would need to like have a lot of people on hire to manage a code base that complex. And that's kind of what Ladybird is aiming to prove, is that it doesn't need to be this complex, but I think they're going to find out that it really does need to be that complex because there's a lot of, so like Firefox has always kind of been a while behind Chromium in terms of security, and they also don't ship very many privacy features, surprisingly, compared to something like Brave, you know? So what's happened though is Mozilla has their user base has steadily declined over the years, and people are starting to realize that maybe they're not spending their money in the wisest of ways, which is where we're at right now. They're pushing for things that the users may not really be into in an effort to try and make money, even though they're a nonprofit. So I don't know why they would do that, but they're not really a nonprofit because they're only backed by a nonprofit, but they're actually, there's also a for-profit Mozilla Corporation. It's very confusing. But what's happened though is people are starting to look for alternatives, and they're starting to realize that there aren't any alternatives. And I'm gonna be kind of doom and gloom today and say, if Firefox actually did like shut down completely, if they just lost all their market share and weren't able to fund anything, and Google like took out that default search engine deal, it would be I mean, shit, you wouldn't be able to maintain a fork. It just wouldn't happen. There's not enough people. They don't have enough time. They're not getting paid for it. So I'm thinking what would happen in the event of Mozilla's downfall is they would sell off. I don't know if they're allowed to sell off, but there's probably some way to keep them going if they have no money. And the way that would be is either by some company funding them directly or just taking over operations. And I would expect somebody like maybe IBM would be interested in doing that. I'm kind of sleepy today. Yeah, this conversation's boring me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so like because there's no way to maintain this base if you don't have the company behind it. I mean, like what are you supposed to do? You know? And I think that's kind of where we're at. Where like, yeah, you can use a Firefox fork, but you don't really escape Mozilla by doing that. In the same way, if you use Brave, you're technically not escaping Google, but you are escaping like their money, you know? And that's what's interesting. So I don't know. That's just me. I don't really see a way for this to go down without something drastic happening to Mozilla. I don't know. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.